willing to do what it takes to get there. I think he signed to One Warrior.
Yeah, I was gonna say that he signed to One Warrior. I think he did an episode.
Arnold DL, those guys, I would love to see.
I think any fighter has a chance.
Welcome, guys. Welcome to the MMA talk show down at MASMMAA's Facebook and YouTube channel. I'm your co-host. My name is Daniel Chi, and with me, as always, President of MASMMAA himself, Mr. Rashid Saleh. Anyways, today
I love you always call me Mister. I don't know, like I feel like an old man the whole time.
I mean, out of respect, out of respect. But yeah,
it's like 15th show already. Like enough respect already. Let's just get up.
Fair enough. Anyways, we are exactly what Rashid just said. We're on our 15th show here on the 25th of July, and today we'll be talking about photographers because, like previous episodes, like we talk about, people that's outside the cage, that's like working, that's playing that part. Without these people, you wouldn't see like the beautiful photos that we can get from most of this promotions. So before further ado, I'm gonna introduce to our guests. First one is Mr. Ong Chen Fei. Sorry, I kind of forgot it there for a while, but yeah, Mr. Ong Chen Fei. He is a MASMMAA photographer, and as well he owns his own photography line, right? Mr. Ong, how are you?
Yep, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Did you get your coffee, by the way?
Oh yeah, I just asked them to hold on for a while because I have to go live. So, but ordered.
You could tell them to just come and just bring it down.
Ordered, you can also ask them to bring it over to you, and then they can sort of advertise themselves very quickly.
Oh, actually, true. I should tell them later. Yeah. Later I'll give them some hint.
Yeah. All right.
Tell them to come over. Anyways, secondly, we have our next guest, Jasmine Osman, also a MASMMAA photographer, and she is a freelance photographer as well, and she works with She works in several events for One Championship as well. How are you doing, Jasmine?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Oh, great.
Hey, I want coffee also.
Jasmine, you're not in Malaysia right now, right?
No, not right now.
Oh, okay. Well, you're doing your degree over where?
I just finished my bachelor's in science of psychology with the Open University. So I'm now a graduate. Woo! Currently, because of everything that's happening in the world, I'm stuck in Georgia.
Georgia.
I can't leave.
Okay.
That's good.
Actually, they're really good. Judo and wrestling.
Mr. Food.
Oh yes.
Yes. See.
How dare you?
See, I only had to say Mr. Food.
But yeah, anyways, we're gonna move on to invite our third guest of tonight, he is pretty much the OGs of photographers in Malaysia. He's been here for a very long. I think Faye just got his coffee. But yeah, bringing in our third guest is Mr. YK Tang.
Hey, guys.
How are you doing, YK?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Raining heavily here.
So you guys as photographers, during this MCO period and stuff like that, what have you been up to? YK, what have you been up to?
Nothing much. Can't do anything because everything is, especially we are doing fights, events, and all this stuff. And you know that events are all cancelled, on hold, and all this stuff. So basically, it's for the last 3 months, I've been sitting at home, probably brushing my skills, additional skills or whatever, and venture into some video stuff and all this stuff for fun.
Oh, okay.
That's about it at the moment. Of course, obviously waiting for the next event to open.
Fair enough. How about you, Mr. Fei?
Basically nothing much. I think all the events are like what YK said is cancelled. Especially I think some of the event like Copa or kickboxing event. Those are major event that happening throughout the year. And it's basically everything is put to a stop until the government gonna announce reopening. And today we heard some bad news. Some more, right? It might re-strengthen the whole MCO thing again. So we do not know when we're gonna really have our chance to hold the camera to shoot martial arts for a while more, I think. So
Oh yeah, that's really gonna suck, honestly, because we all of us actually we all like live and breathe when it comes to like fight events. But finally, for Jasmine, what about you? How's Georgia doing, and like how's the quarantine?
Actually, like Georgia's been doing very well. They've just hit like 1K cases, so it's there's no like MCO or RMCO or whatever it's called now. Basic like I think the gyms just started opening up, but they're definitely not going to do any contact sports for some time. Georgia has a very good wrestling and judo like teams. So I was when I first like got here, I was quite interested in like maybe I can go and shoot, like I can do something. But pandemic, what to do?
Oh, but less than about like 1,000 cases, they still don't allow like contact sports, huh?
Who really knows what's going to happen, and how like infectious this thing is, and even if you're not currently symptomatic, you can spread it. So they just want to be careful, like I understand it's like it might be sad for a little bit, like basically half of 2020 is gone. Oh my god, half of 2020 is gone.
I mean, we're all just here trying to expand our skills, So, yeah. Anyways, we brought you guys in here today because you guys, just similar, just like the fighters. Fighters take shots in the cage. You guys take shots outside the cage. Yeah. So, I want to get to know. Let's.
Before you do that, I'm going to remove myself from here. So, I'll only ask the pertinent questions in the second half of the show. Bye, guys.
Fair enough. Okay. So basically, I'm just here to like warm you guys up before Rashid come back and like grill you guys in a saucepan. But yeah. Anyways, you guys, there's so many like questions about photography in combat sports, but like I said, want to get to know how you guys got involved into photography. So yeah. Well, start straight from the roots, all right? Mr. Aung Shen Fei, how did you get involved in photography in general?
In photography, I think basically it started off with a simple mindset that I want to capture moments to keep it as a memory. Especially I love to travel and I love to social with people. So first thing is like, okay, how do I cherish this moment besides just keeping in my mind? So that's where trigger is like, okay, maybe I should save up some money and get started with a very, very cheap compact camera. Especially I think I started with a Sony. I'm fortunate that I went into a digital compact camera during in uni. So actually that's where it triggered me to actually started with photography. Then it slowly evolved, and my friend said, hey, why not just like look into DSLR? Maybe you improve your skill as well, and maybe that's what you want to venture into as well. So that's where I actually slowly get to know this DSLR and stuff. So that's basically how I start my photography journey.
Okay. All right. What about you, Jasmine? How did you get involved in photography?
If you want to go like really deep into it, my mom is quite a hobby photographer. So as I was growing up, I had the like the point and click and flash, those film cameras. I got my first like my own camera when I was like 12, and I started doing it like as a hobby. It was a point and shoot Sony as well. So I just like Faye, I also started with Sony, and just like as the years went on, I upgraded to Canon DSLR, and I around like 2014, I was like, I really like this, and I wanted it's so cliche, but like I really did want to like capture moments. But I started off as a music photographer. So I would go to shows and take photos of people on stage and the crowd. And I only really got into fight photography around 2017, I think. And yeah, it's just it's become a passion, really. Like I'm really into music, and I'm really into sports, and I am into martial arts, surprisingly. But yeah, so it's just another way to pursue my passions and to mix them together as well.
That's quite like a change, from music and then music, very artsy and stuff like that. And then you come straight into
Blood everywhere.
Maybe it's more like rhythm. Rhythm is kind of sing. Music rhythm is
That's true. I can agree with that. But yeah, finally, YK, how did you get involved into photography?
Oh, long story.
Long story.
Long story. Oh, it's like I would say that I'm actually born. I would use the word born artist. I like to draw. When I was in school, when I was in primary school, secondary school, I like to draw. I was one of the class artists, and probably because I was like born left-handed. I mean, they always used to say that the left-hander is
I've heard of that. Yeah.
But again, I'm not sure whether it's how true it's true, right? But naturally, I like arts and all this stuff. And those days when I started all the stuff, when from art drawing, I gradually moved into photography. And during my time, it's like there wasn't any digital SLR. So I went to 35mm film and all the stuff. And those were the times very, very expensive. And I got really interested. When I look at it, I said, wow, you can actually capture the motion, the emotion and all stuff. I want to pursue more about photography at that time. But again, it's like I'm not sure how many of you know that one roll of film at 36 exposure is like about 12 ringgit at a time. And then you have to send for development.
That's one film.
Yes, that's 36. 36 exposure.
I remember those days. I remember those days. It was so expensive.
So expensive. And I joined the photography club in the school and all that stuff. And they have these standards. They'll say that, oh, you gotta use Kodak Gold, Kodak Gold film, no other brand, but Kodak Gold. It's like that is the standard. But it's like so expensive. So eventually I kind of like drop out, it's like I don't have the money to do all this stuff. And as years goes by, digital came in, the DSLR came in, and I was like, oh, okay, it's something new. Let me try. And from there, I bought a compact fat camera, I bought a DSLR, and I shoot everything, almost everything. It's like from portrait, landscape, everything. And yeah, I mean, it's like when you hold a camera, it's like you say, I want to shoot everything. It's like, I don't know what I want to do. And just point and click, and all the stuff. And how I got into fight and all the MMA and all the stuff. Again, thanks to MASMMAA. So I started my journey there. It's like that was when 2014, I guess, the first MASMMAA. And just like
was 2013,
2014, right?
2013.
2013. That was the first one. Yeah. The first one.
He just
jammed in, right? No worries.
Yeah, he pop up to tell you the year. That's all.
Yeah. Then it disappeared. Just like Jasmine, I'm still shooting fights, sports, and dances. And yes. And if Chen Fei, he knows that I'm one of the resident photographer for pole dancing. Pole dance? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I've seen those photos as well.
This guy jumped in again. Thank you. This guy jumped in again.
You can go over to YK Tugs page on Facebook.
Pole dancing is YK passion as well.
Yeah. This guy shot before.
He do pole dancing. He do pole dancing very well. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's the whole thing is like when I look at it, yes, it's an art. The other thing is the passion of shooting dance and fight and sports and all that stuff. I will term it as a motion photography. So everything is like you don't read posing. Unlike weddings and all this stuff, I do have high respect for all this wedding photographers, but maybe this is not something like I will do it often because I'm not good in posing. You know, it's like you ask someone, you like the bride and groom to stand there to pose. I may not be good in that, but I will.
okay,
Yes,
okay.
I may not be good in that,
I
but
get
I would love to shoot all this motion because I find it quite challenging because you would not know what's going to happen next. And it's, for example, it's just like fight. This guy gonna throw a punch, a jab, and all saying, and you do not know when he's gonna throw a left or right and all stuff. And at times that I may miss certain things because they jump. Same goes to dance. We do not know when they're gonna turn and all saying is. I find it quite challenging. You know, it's like you keep learning, and you keep doing things. And probably after the event, and we come back and say, oh, can I do better? Can I do better? Can I go for the next event? I want to go for the next event. You know, I want to shoot better, kind of that. And you can't ask them to redo, right? Like all these things you can't ask them to redo.
Now, I want to say like as if like you know, I mean, I just got like from Southpaw Malaysia, right? I have my own content over there as well. But what you just said with like not like posing, like for me when I do my content, like you know, I get sometimes like fighters asking me like, oh, should I stand here? Should I? I'm like, nah, just sit, do your thing, do your thing, and like you know, I'll just with a camera and film. But Jasmine, I want to ask you, okay, so when it comes to like capturing like emotions and stuff like that, you know, when you enter like a MMA event, like, and then you're holding the camera, what goes through your mind?
Whew. Oh, this is that's a really good question. Well, basically whenever I'm Cageside, it's just me. I really just like, I don't really pay attention to anything else. It's just me, my camera, and whoever's in the ring or circle or octagon or wherever, you know. And it's like I'm sort of in a zone, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
It's like I need like it's like I want to get this shot. I want to get like fighting. I feel like music has a lot of emotion in it as well, because you know you have all these musicians on stage. They're playing what they love. They wrote all these songs because they poured so much love and into their art. And in fighting, it's like a lot more raw. And it's like YK said, it's just like, it's like him in dance, where it's same like me in music, but like in terms of fight, it's like raw, and you want to just make sure that you don't have anything else in your mind, no distractions. Just make sure you're focused through the net, which is always very frustrating. And just like make sure you get them in shot, get them in frame, get them in focus, and you just catch the raw emotion that comes from like whether they get hit or like right after they get hit, they're like, you know, like the primal human emotion that comes from fight. That's basically what I feel. And it's sort of like, I'm a very empathetic person, so I sort of like absorb it, and I'm like, yeah, I get through it. I'm like, so a bit like Ganas, like, yeah.
So you like that kind of like primal thing? You like to capture all those like feeling, right?
Yeah,
that,
I like emotion as well. Yeah. Well,
I mean emotion is one thing, but like
right? So like,
fair enough. Fair. I want to ask Faith. So speaking about like primal feelings and all this kind of thing, Faith. Yeah. Faith.
Yeah.
Do you ever get scared of fighters when you have to go like, you know, if the certain fighters scare you?
In terms of like I'm in the ring or I'm outside of the ring?
Probably both, actually. Both, yeah. You know, do you have any like, do you get vibes, you know, from fighters, and who do you get those kind of vibes from?
I think especially when it comes to first time with I think ONE FC, definitely like Ben Askren when the first time is like, especially when he come down, he got those kind of aura. Especially you feel like, oh man, I would not want to just give him a big hard pat on the shoulder. He might just swing his arm over to my head, kind of thing. So especially it's like, oh, I'm holding the camera, so what if he just smacked me in the face or those kind of things. But those kind of things is like, I think when the fighters are in zone, so you know that, oh my, you can feel the aura is definitely even through the lens. You know how focused this person is and how ready they are to actually step into the ring and just take their opponent right away. So
Is there a moment where, like, you hold the camera and you point it at a certain fighter, and then straight away you're like, no.
I think pretty much I wouldn't say yes, because in a way it's like partially it's a passion and it's a job. Also come to mind that I'm doing a job to actually to capture the moment. If I don't take any photos, I won't have any photos. So I have to really oh my guts is really okay. I'm just gonna keep on shooting, even he's gonna push me away. Yeah, I have to get some shots. So that's even the main primary rules when I first started fight photography, especially with YK. Thanks to YK. If not, I think in MASMMAA 3, I wouldn't have the opportunity to even go in to start my fight photography journey. So actually, it's thanks to YK. He's my sifu. So the same thing. He just give a very simple instructions. It's like no matter how many photo shots you have to shoot, you cannot because it's like what he said is basically the moments. Once it miss, it's miss. You don't have time to ponder like how you want to shoot, or what angle you want to shoot, those kind of things, and you don't have time to actually to even recreate those moments. You cannot choreograph a fighter how they fight. So basically, it's like you don't have time to even think like, okay, I'm gonna be kicked in the face or something, or I'm gonna be punched, or when I'm too near to the net. It's basically my priority is to capture the moments for the fighters, and that's the main goal to actually deliver by the end of the match. So basically, I don't even have time to think. It's like, okay, this guy is look furious. I should step back and then I just chill. No, I think basically we have to just hold our guts, hold the camera, point, shoot.
Wow. Okay. Damn. I mean, this sounds like, I mean, I know that you guys do like this is serious work, but like that just puts like a lot of emphasis on how important you guys are. Really. Mr. YK, I want to ask about, like, when it comes to photography, photography is a form of art, right?
Yeah.
It's a form of art. Now, could you talk us through, like, because each photographer has their own style. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
So talk us through, like, what's your kind of style? Like, what do you look out for?
For the fight?
Yeah.
Or like
for fights, yes. For fights.
Yes. I mean, for me, generally, I used to shoot what I call a wide angle. I mean, those were the days those were the MASMMAA days, because those were the time I don't really know how to look at the fight. So like, I don't know when are they going to use their feet, their hand, their leg or ground and all this stuff. So I try to play safe. I'll try to shoot as wide as possible so I can capture the whole body movement and all this stuff. And when I moved to join One, things are different, because for the fact that their cage is bigger. So if I'm going to use a wide angle lens, I would not be able to get through the net, because for the fact the physics of the photography, the net and all stuff. So I have to force myself using the long lens, a zoom lens. And after using the zoom lens for some times, I find it, and when I look back at the photos and I look at the compositions of the photos, I was thinking to myself, should I shoot the whole body, or should I zoom in, like focus on the punches for the kicks and all this stuff? And I tend to mix it here and there, but I think lately I try to shoot more towards the tight shots, the tighter shots, and where you can see the the action and all this stuff. And again, when I was in One, and as you guys are aware that One have these two different type of fighting platform, is a ring and a cage. So if you're talking about the ring, I will tend to use my wide angles. I'll tend to shoot wider, which means that full body, and probably I'll come back and crop and all this stuff. For the ring, of course, as I mentioned, that because of the net and all thing, I try to shoot tighter. So that's my style. And obviously, I would love to shoot from the top angle for a different perspective. But for One championship, they only allowed one guy, which is, if you know who is Mr. Dax from Philippines. He's the only guy who standing on top there, so he can only get the top angle. But when I was with MASMMAA, I think Faye did that as well. we sometimes rotate the top angle and the what they call the direct angle. So if you
Okay.
ask me what are the style, I would say I will try to vary the style a bit, because otherwise it's kind of boring, because we shoot it constantly. Otherwise, people look at it, it's like it's the same guy, it's the same style, the same shooting and all this stuff. So I tend to change it, varies it a bit.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, I think I get the gist. Faye, was this? No, just now you mentioned that YK asked you to like take as much photos as you can and stuff like that, right? You see, when you take a lot of photos, the one question that always rings in my bell: where does it go? Yeah, where does it go?
Okay. I give you a little bit of hint. It's like maybe you shoot 1,000 photos and maybe let's say 10% or less can be actually make it into the platform for usage, and the rest is basically put in your hard disk for storage or even down to the bin. Yeah, that's how it goes. Because especially moments. Sometimes the moments is not that nice also, and it cannot when the picture cannot tell a story. It's basically useless to portray what's going on there. So it's like basically it's like no matter how many people thought it's like, oh okay, you're gonna have like 1,000 or 2,000 shots, definitely you can give me 500 or even 1,000 pictures. No, it's never close. It's never close, especially come to sports and this kind of dance photography, sports, MMA, kickboxing. You know about kickboxing as well. That's not, people is like, hey, can you give me more photos? It's like, dude, I'm sorry. It's just that that's are the best moment I can give you. The rest are actually miss and hit, and basically you can't even use it for social media or even no, it's not even worth posting at all.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
yeah. That's why moment is so important. Once you miss it, you cannot recreate. Yeah.
So what's the post production like actually? Does it take very long to like edit everything and start posting?
Yeah, basically the first thing is like we have to filter the best moment out first. I think when you come to Mima, they need highlights. They need highlight files. So basically, you have to. Thanks to Mima at least they have someone to help you filter photos. But every matches you have to swap your cards and pass them the photos. But even you see in Mima also, it's like the best out of maybe the hundreds of photos, maybe like out of 5 they pick. That's the best moment that they can get, and basically they can tell what's happening at the match, and the rest of the photo is like just thank you so much, you can continue shoot for the next match. Yeah, so the post basically the first thing is always the filtering is always the hardest. It's basically you have to choose the best photos, then after that you go into your post editing to edit the photo to make it a little bit vibrant. As I learned from my case, like, contrast and vibrant, you have to basically the pictures have to tell a story. So it's just like post editing is just more like make it a little bit nicer and prettier.
Yeah.
So it's for posting. It's not for purpose of changing. Like people say, especially for sports photography, you don't come to like wedding moments. You can edit and make the person look prettier. No,
Slimmer.
your expression, slimmer, muscular. No. In fight photography, we don't do that. Basically, when you have got a fist to your face, with your jaw almost dropping, that's the moment that we are looking for. So we won't edit it as I make you suddenly so pretty, smooth face. No.
Yeah, I mean,
not,
if I'm gonna add on, interrupt a little bit. We are basically, we don't manipulate the photos, but we are basically what we call ourselves. You can call us like photojournalism or whatever, So if we are talking about journalism, then we don't change any aspect of the event. We want to show the event as it is, and we do not,
Documentary.
in a way, yes. Because we don't just because there's a cloth there, it looks ugly. We just manipulate and was like erase it or whatever. Oh, there's a referee there, and it's like it's not nice. I'm gonna like cut it out and no. I mean, for me, at times I have a lot of that, like what Chen Fei mentioned. I shoot a lot of photos, but sometimes when we talk about moments, we can't create the moment when we can't control moment. And if you're gonna ask us whether we run around or not, we don't, because we do not know where they're gonna stand. And at times, I myself, I have like a lot of occasions that sometimes the KO shots those 9 shots and all that stuff been blocked by the referees.
Yeah.
I have
Oh my
times
gosh.
when I was in one championship, I was like, Olivia, I was like
Shout
holding my
out to
Should not name
Olivia.
names.
Host.
I'm doing my job. Okay, fair enough.
We shall not.
Olivia,
We,
you're too tall.
True.
we shall not name names. We shall not name names. Yeah,
Today-
Olivia. Yeah. Your ass is always in the camera. Yeah.
I mean, he's doing a great job.
Yeah.
But we say that yes, we respect you. You are doing your job. So sorry about that. But sometimes at times we just jump in and say, I missed that shot. So and I mean that's the moment that okay. After a while, we say, okay, yeah, fair enough. You guys are doing your job fantastic in the ring and all that stuff. So yeah, I mean there are times that where we just miss all the stuff. We just miss all the shots. It happens.
Okay.
So that's why what Chepe mentioned, should. We do not know when they are going to, when is the kill moment, when really get the nice shot and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's why
sorry.
you gotta keep getting the shots so that you just don't miss. Yeah.
Even I give you
Yeah.
one good example. It happened during this AMA. So actually it happened to Lucas. I can even name the fighter. So it's like basically that match is like basically I just getting ready. Because normally like the matches we start, people warm up a little bit before you really get into a nasty fight. So I just pretty much it's like okay, settings okay, ready. I ready to point and shoot. There's a KO. That's about 10 seconds of the match.
Oh yeah. That was in 2018, was it?
Yeah, basically I just oh, what happened? Yeah, that's what a very good lesson I learned. What YK said, just shoot, don't bother about the settings first and stuff, and we can ponder about it later. That's the moment I miss, and I cannot replace it. I cannot ask Lucas, hey guys, can you fight again? Just redo the KO. No, we cannot. And basically, Lucas asked me.
Ask the guy that dropped by. Hey, can get up?
Do again.
Even Lucas is asking me for photos. I don't have.
Very like that as well. Not. I think I was there actually for that AMA fight, but I think it was the first time that I shot Cageside at one championship, and I don't want to name which fighter it is, but it was a Malaysian fighter, and basically got caught in a choke, and you can see the face turning blue, and I have the exact series of shots when he starts going. So like, yeah, I don't want to name names. I don't want to embarrass him, lah.
Fair.
So it's just we take so many photos, and we need to just make sure. The one thing that we really need to make sure is that it's in focus. Otherwise, it is useless. So not only do we have to get it on the time, but we also have to make sure it's in focus. There's so many shots that I've taken that like the screen on the little camera compared to like a laptop is so different. You're like, oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah, okay, cool, I got it. And then you put it up on your laptop and you're like, it's just that much out of focus, and that's just gone. You really lost your moment.
Oh man!
Quick question. Actually, I'm gonna just get into, since you're all warmed up already. Thanks, Daniel. This one specifically first for YK, and I'm sure the rest of you have gone through it. I mean, I remember the days of the SLRs, the film cameras, and having to be very frugal about how we used our shots. Do you think now, with especially with action shots and all that, you have a lot more freedom, or do you think we do waste our time thinking about framing that shot during a fight, YK?
I would say that nowadays are more. Sometimes I'll put it this way. Sometimes you don't really have to think. Because as you see that some of the modern cameras nowadays, the focus, you just pan the camera and just literally focus. And of course, with the advancement of the cameras and with the frame per second, gone were the days where those older days that you probably have like 4 frames per second, 3.5 frames per second. So to shoot the fights is like, it's really about timing. It's like really good timing. And now I have seen people that they just burst. They'll just press the shutter speed, the shutter release, and they'll just burst the whole thing. And probably when I turn around, they say, "Did you get a shot?" I say, then the side say, "Yeah, probably yes," because throughout the 3 minutes or what, these guys are pressing on the shutter release, and all the way like machine guns. And again, it's like the question is, do you really need to really think hard? You know, like those were the older days where people they can't see the screen, they have to like judge, or probably they have to measure the lights and all this stuff. And nowadays it's like the ISO, the combination of ISO, shutter speed, and aperture. It's like you don't have to worry about that. And at one thing from DSLR, I was using DSLR, I'm still using DSLR. And one thing, last year I just acquired the mirrorless. And mirrorless is like, in a way, it helps you a lot in a way that you don't really have to think. In the sense that you have EVF, electronic viewfinder. So which means that you'll get what you see. You know, what you see, what you get. So it's literally you put your eye on the viewfinder, and then that's it. Those are the exposures you're going to get. So you are very underexposed, overexposed, and all the things, you should be able to see straight away. But if you're using DSLR, I don't think so.
But you think, Jasmine, that takes away the
fun,
the learning, the fun. The fun does take away the fun. We know that. But do you feel that now, you know, as the term, the slogan says about one certain airline, now everyone can be a photographer?
Yes.
What do you think? Your thoughts, Jasmine?
I, as a freelance photographer, I struggle with this a lot. Whether it's not so much in fight, because like whoever's in fight knows that is not true. But in terms of music, it's still a bit, how I can take my phone and I can take a nice photo. Like, why do I have to like worry about buying a DSLR and spending so much money? But the thing is, like, I get into fights with people about this, but like the quality that actually comes out from a phone and a DSLR, and then like even just like a DSLR, the entry level towards the more pro level, or like a mirrorless, like YK says. I don't have one yet, but one day. Just the quality of photos, it does get better and better, but it's more than just, oh, do I have the shot or not? It's just like, yes, getting the shot is important, whether it's like in focus or like if they're completely in frame, because sometimes it can just lari sikit, and you get like one face and the other face is like cut in half. But it's like that you can also tell that when a photographer is taking a photo, that is their passion and that is what they love to do, compared to someone who just hit hand on the shutter and just burst like 100,000 photos in a moment. So it does make a difference. Maybe laymen can't really see it, but I'm pretty sure YK and Faye would agree with me that if like photographers saw the photos, we can tell who like really loves what they're doing and who like is passionate about like every single shot that they make, even though they have to like stress about whether they got the shot or not. It's all a process that goes like that, but it's very important in the same time.
YK, do you just like a point just down? I'm not going to ask you why.
No.
Anyway, but Faye, I'm not going to ask. I'm just going to like, that flew past me. Faye, you know, you've heard what YK and Jasmine said. But in terms of your thoughts going to now, you have the advancement of these cameras now. What do you need to learn in terms now? I mean, framing and all that is the basics is there. But with all this advancement, making the shots look prettier or nicer or clearer. So what's your motivation now as an experienced photographer coming into doing action shots?
I think pretty much it's like what drives them to actually eventually to start. It's just not because they want to just be there for the sake of getting to know this hot chick there's learning BJJ or something. But I mean, yeah, I think
Is that
apparently
how you got into it?
No. It's not. It's not. Basically, I started martial arts. I love martial arts. Actually, in fact, I started with Taekwondo, and then I went to kickboxing, Muay Thai a little bit, and that's where I generated the passion. It's like, oh, okay. I never really tried capture photos like of martial arts. I took weddings, I took friends' birthday party events and stuff. But I mean, taking picture, that's something that I like. I have not tried it. So why not take the challenge and learn it? So it's like eventually when I started, it's like, yeah, I got nervous and all my photos came out crap. It's not good at all. It's like even YK had to like give me a lot of pointers like what to do and how to improve it. And then basically it's like the passion that keep me on keep on going, because I think basically photography is like what you call that, it's very high turnover, especially when it comes to certain sports and events. You see like people, photographer come in and out like nobody business. Basically it's just, I see this guy before, where is him now, kind of. It's like basically it's like just lose his passion. He feel like he want to do something else, where I think the main motivation is always a passion towards that particular sports that you like. Basically why I still stick with it is like, even I think I know you since the MASMMAA 3 onwards until now. It's like I'm still doing martial arts. That's what I feel like I'm still loving it, and basically I even get myself participate in learning itself. I want to understand more, and then basically, what's this choke call for? And then maybe this next moment when I take the photos, I know this is coming. I know what is it. Basically, people as I tell me rear naked choke. Last time I don't even know what is that. It's like, okay, it's a choke, but what is rear naked choke? So I don't know, RNC kind of thing. So it's like that's where actually give me more motivation actually to learn more and deep dive into the sports, and then it actually helped me to keep on going in my photography passion in sports. Yeah, that's one of the main
reasons. Right. You and Faye and Jasmine, obviously you've had the benefit of having YK mentoring you, and also people like my son who's been around as well. Big shout out to him, because love to have him on the show as well. But like I said, my YK, like you mentioned, you had to learn everything by yourself and group along the way without it sounding too, yeah. So what was it like? I mean, would you have wanted to have a mentor, YK, or did you just like,
I mean, I'll love to have a mentor. I mean, it's gonna accelerate the learning curve, definitely. It's I mean, unfortunately, when I started the fight photography back in the 2013, right? 2013, 2014, right? 13.
Yeah, 13.
I believe that in Malaysia, there's none. There's nobody is actually doing fight photography seriously. And when I got turned around, I said, "Is there anybody to guide me?" and all this stuff. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any. Obviously, those are the guys from one championship, and I don't really know them at the time. And so what I gotta do? So I have to turn to the YouTube and all this stuff, and kind of search online some of the overseas fight photographers, look at their works and get inspired by those guys. Obviously, they will not share the setting and all this stuff, but we have to learn the hard way, in a way.
Okay, you shared me some of your settings, which is really nice. So I will definitely reciprocate that with video and stuff if we ever need it. Now, here's an interesting question. I know you've already had a sort of warm-up questions from Daniel about something similar to this. Now, do you ever, and this is one by one, yeah? So ladies first. So do you have any bias towards any fighters when you're taking photos?
Bias to it, as in like, do I
take more photos of them?
No, even because ever since I got into fight photography, I've become friends with a lot of the Malaysian fighters, and I would like the only time that I would sort of acknowledge, oh hey, it's Aiman or it's Jihin. It's when they're doing their walk-in during 1. Otherwise, I'm just in the I'm in the zone, and I just want to just make sure that I get the shot. Whether I get more of, say, like if it's Ayman versus like I don't know some Filipino, like I would make sure that I get both sides, because you never know who just has that moment, and that just like you can see sometimes when they click. And they're like, this is what I'm going to do. And then they attack. You can sort of see it. And if you have a bias towards a fighter and you're only taking photos of one fighter, you will not see that and you will miss your moment. So it's very important that you don't have a bias.
Okay, so even if you had like, for example, and this is just a hypothetical question. You have a sibling who's actually going to be fighting out there, and then they turn around and said, I hope you're going to take a lot of my photos. Would that bias set in, or are you just going to stay neutral and in the zone?
I have to go with my gut. I mean, there's it is really a hypothetical question because I'm the only sporty one in my family. And I won't, because if I'm just concentrating on one side again, like I will miss the moments that actually like I'm there to do. It is my job to get those moments. So even if like, say my elder brother or my younger sister gets beat up, like I'm not going to be like, okay, just focus it on them. I need to get both sides.
Right. Okay. Faye?
Basically, I would say for me, yes, definitely I will have bias, but that will be off the camera.
I know who's
I'm gonna be frank.
I know
bias to wrinkles. Bias to wrinkles.
No.
And a certain atomweight champion.
Oh, wow.
Anyway.
Yeah, I think it's true. Definitely you have bias, but for me it will be off camera. When you're basically the viewfinder will be in front of your eyes. I don't care who you are. Basically, capturing the moments of that match is my main objective, and that moments will actually tell the whole story of the match. So eventually, like I can give very good example is like when Ben and Agilan. I think that match is like pretty. It's like, hey, Malaysian flag, come on, I'm gonna support you, Agilan. Yeah, brother. Okay, let's go. But eventually, when he's lost, I got photos of him being choked and stuff, and lead out. It's like when I'm taking photos, I won't have that bias mentality at that moment. It's basically I'm gonna be in my zone. I'm gonna just capture moments and focus. When off camera, yes, I'm biased off camera. I'm sorry. I do have my like fighters that I like a lot and I want to give them support. Yeah, but when I'm come to taking photos, I'm sorry, I have to do my job. I basically capturing moments. That's pretty much me. Yeah.
All right.
When you say off camera, do you mean like, I mean, not literally off camera, right? Yeah, off the match, right?
Post-match.
Okay.
No.
Post-match or pre-match, or maybe like let's say my camera is basically not in front of me when I'm clicking the shuttle. That's off camera. Yeah. For me,
basically as long as they're not on stage,
pre-match,
then we can have our biases.
Pre-match and post-match, do you take more photos of them?
Yeah, I'll try to, but definitely I have to cover both sides. But when it's the same thing happen when it's like okay, when it's like basically they are signing autograph and say I take a few more photos for you. It's like it's fine, but when it comes to really matches, even walk in, I have to have the fair treatment. I don't play bias when it comes to that. Yeah. Basically, like what Jasmine said, you're gonna miss the moment if like this guy, the opponent, gonna give you a KO, and then basically you are so focusing on the losing end. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna go photos. And what about the moment that actually this guy knocked this fella out? Oh, I don't have because I'm so focused on this guy. No, it doesn't work that way. Yeah, when you come to sports, you cannot be really biased into. It's not gonna get you anywhere. Yeah.
Neutral, no bias. If you're talking about fight photography will be what? If you're talking about the fight and all the stuff, it's gonna be. I'm always on job. no, I can't be biased to one party to the other party because of the flag or countries they are representing. Same goes to this what Jasmine or Faye mentioned about it is sometimes when we try to shoot the fight, so it depends on where you stand. So for example, if I really want to be biased, but I can't be choosing to shoot every time that fella, because probably the angle he's like backing me, and it's not going to be nice because I always shoot the back, so I will shoot whatever come in front of me. So that again, no bias, because again, it's part of the job, and at the end of the day, the management always say that give me the photos of the winners and all that stuff. So that's it.
All right. This is an age-old question, but I'll let Daniel ask his question first.
Okay. I wanted to ask the three of you actually. You see that in an event, there's so many photographers. Do you guys work together in a sense that, okay, I'm gonna take the shot from here, and like I'm gonna focus on this one, and then you do this one, and then do you guys discuss all that, or is it you just do your own thing?
Okay, let me answer that. From my experience in MASMMAA, we actually discuss that. Like if you're talking about Chen Fei and all that, you should know about that. We will station people like at different station, because different locations. The cage or the ring or the circle is actually round or rather square. So you will not know where the fighter is going to like move left or right in front of you or backing you and all this stuff. So there is no favor and say that, oh, you just have to go around, you just shoot there and here and there. No, we in MASMMAA we actually rotate. Sometimes Faye will take the top, what they call the top location. Sometimes like Mahesan, he will be up there as well, and kind of we kind of rotate. We don't compete with each other, not because of we say that, oh, the KO is happening at that angle, so I have to rush to that angle and to shoot, not knowing that Faye is already getting the shot. So why should I have to run over there? Same goes to now in One Championship. It's the same thing. So we have 3 official photographers there, and we stay put at our station in a way. Our station. Same thought. We don't run there because of we want to get the winning shot. Everybody want to get the winning shots. Everybody want to get that in their profile. But because of we know that there's another guy is actually stationed there to get the KO shots, they say that, okay, let the guy handle it. Unless nobody had covered that, it's a dead zone or whatever, then someone have to run over there, being blocked or whatever, then someone have to like move around, and we signal someone have to move around to take that shot.
Oh.
From my experience, I'm not sure.
But from what you just said, right? From what you just said, do you share the photos with each other?
I mentioned it. When I was with MASMMAA, when I was and in One Championship, I'm always on the job. It's not shooting for fun.
Okay.
See, when I'm shooting for fun, it's totally different. I'm shooting for fun. It's like I don't care whether Faye got a shot or not. I don't care if Jasmine got a shot or not, because I want to get a shot. I want to get a profile as well. Okay? But if you are on a job, 3 of us probably will send the photos. Then the organizer will just ask 3 of us and say that, hey, Faye, do you get a shot? No. What about Jasmine? Jasmine, no. What about YK? So we kind of like work together. So at least we are in the team. We have like the angle that we can actually pass to the organizer.
I understand now. I completely
If you are
understand
talking
now.
about shooting for fun, probably I will not know about others. Probably I would want to get the KO shots because that is the moment. And I say that I don't care whether Faye got it or not. I want it in my profile. I want to put it in my Facebook and everybody look at it. Wow, YK got it too, But a job is still a job to me, So I'll let other guys do it. So rather than rushing there, there's no point.
Right. So if it's a job, you guys just work as a team.
Yeah.
This is how it is. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. I can sort of add to that because I work a lot with Faye in like AMA or Copa, and like we will be in like exactly like YK explained, like we will want to make sure that we have different angles. If we're working for the organizers, like they are our boss, and no matter what, like we have to think about the boss, right? What does the boss want rather than what we want? But in terms of like one championship events, like YK, it works, while like Faye and I sort of do it for fun, and then we'll post it on like social media and stuff. But if we are not working, we don't have the luxury of moving around, because there are so many people doing their job. There's especially in one championship, there's the crane that will move around and you might get hit. So photographers that are not official will have one side of either the ring or the cage, and we only can stay in one area. And so we have to make do if we're working for press, or if we're just there for ourselves. That's all we can do. But if in terms of like working for the organizers themselves, just like YK said, like we'll have people working at different sides of the ring or the cage. And so we want to make sure that our boss is happy, basically.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I can definitely understand that. Faye, do you want to add to that, or?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much teamwork is very important, especially when you come to martial arts events. I think it's pretty much one person is very hard to actually capture every single angle. Like what YK says, like you have to understand how big is the ring itself. It's like there's 4 corners, and then you cannot choreograph how a fighter gonna move. It's like, guys, you're gonna fight here. You mean here? I'm gonna be here so that I can snap photos of you. You cannot just tell the other fighters your zone is here to here. Okay, basically you can. Yeah, I wish I can do that, but basically it can't. We cannot even predict where they are going. So basically, with multiple numbers of photographers, it actually helps. Basically, like the example, YK, me and Jasmine, we're gonna capture different angles. Everyone gonna cover the moments when that particular important moments happen in front of our eyes. We can capture it. So basically, when it comes to jobs, yes, pretty much that's really helps. Especially, I think the organization is like they want to share the winning photos, and basically it's like, hey guys, none of you get any photos. What are you guys doing? So basically, I cannot even post anything to share. So teamwork is pretty much, I say, is very, very important. You have to actually work together. Even sometimes at some events, you do not know that particular photographers or videographers. We will tend to walk over, hey guys, is this angle I'm okay to step in, or those kind of things, so that we won't clash into each other. It's like, especially live camera, you won't want to take photos. Hey yo, the live camera gonna shoot at your back, your face, even your ass. Is like while you're shooting the photos. So it's like, yeah.
Speaking of ass, right? This is really important.
Not
because
Olivia.
No, not only Olivia. It's really important because so bringing it back to some of us will get the referee's butt in the photo, but if we're all working together and we have someone else on the opposite side, they'll have a completely different angle. They'll have the referee focused on the fighters and what they're doing. Even though, say, I get Olivia's butt in my shot, YK is on the other side of the ring or the cage. He will get the other side of it. And so even though I lost the shot, YK still has it. And because we're working as a team, ultimately as a collective, we get the shot basically.
Basically, it's all about knowing the etiquette or whatever you call it. I have been to a situation whereby, not fights, but shooting something else as an official photographer. Some guy just stepped into my zone, and then I would just say, excuse me, I'm the official. I need to get this shot because I need to pass it to the organizer. And some of them are nice. Some of them say, oh, sorry, you get your shot first because you're the official. But there are some nasty photographer that will say, who cares, I'm here first, So I think that it's all boils down to the attitude and all this stuff.
Okay. All right. This is a very quick fire answer before we end off, and you have to give an answer. There's no wishy-washy, straight off. So I'll ask. It's the same question, and tell me the answer and a quick why. So Who wants to go first? Let's go.
Lady
Jasmine.
first is always
Yeah,
lady.
Lady first.
Ladies first.
Sorry, we're not in Japan. Okay. So, okay. Ring,
Right, shoot.
ring or cage?
Ring.
Why?
Because it's easier to shoot through. I don't have a wide array of equipment. So when it comes to cage, there's the fence. And you have to make sure you get the focus through the fence. Otherwise, especially if you're doing on automatic focus, a lot of the time you'll get focus off the net rather than the fight, no matter how you align your focus dot. So through the ring is so much easier.
Okay, so I'm assuming you've never been given the chance to shoot from the top of the cage.
No.
All right. Okay, that's probably why. Okay, ring or cage?
Ring.
Why?
Definitely ring. It's like there's same thing. It's like there's not much of barricade, especially the cage will actually block most of the focusing. Especially it's tougher. It's tougher, way tougher, unless you really stick to the ring, or you have a very long tele lens, and the chances of you missing moment at the cage were actually higher than the ring, and the angle of the what you call that the view is actually slightly better with ring. For me, it's like sometimes you can go a little bit direct rather than, and actually you have ample space for focusing. So that's pretty much me. Yeah.
Okay.
Ring. Same answer. And if Dax is watching this, Dax,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
That's
tell
not
him.
qualified. That's not qualified for this.
No, I mean he always say that cage. I always tell them whenever we step in, I'll ask him ring or cage. For that event, he'll say that ring. I was like, yes, ring, and he was like, no. I'm always ring. Same answer. Because easy to shoot. Because no cage, no net, and also.
Okay. All right. No, just so you know, no, nothing but asking why. So because as the president, I'm gonna have to think about who's gonna have as my cage photographers from now on.
All rings.
Not gonna
Or you have
happen.
to-
Not
or
in
you can
MMA.
or maybe you can think of giving
No.
us the top view.
Yes, provided you give me the top view. Yes.
Yeah.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
Or even you can the cage, right? One of the corner you can have a bigger hole so that for us put the lens kind of thing.
Yeah,
Sure,
that's definitely gonna
It's
like
the cage, right? So you
safety
just buy the
procedures. Just
Just compromise on
safety,
safety.
God.
Just
a
gonna get
suggestion.
Olivia. I'm gonna get
Suggestion.
Olivia's ass on your face.
You're gonna put an action camera.
Yeah. Well, we did put an action camera on the referees last time.
Yeah.
While they were fighting. So that's happened before. We do have those shots. But anyway, on behalf of MASMMAA as well as myself and Daniel, thank you very much, guys, for coming on to the show. It's really appreciated because what we try to do is obviously try and get all aspects of the show, of the sport, highlighted, because it's very important that people out there understand that it's not just about the fighters, it's not just about the officials, but everything that goes around it. What we call a total holistic view of so people can appreciate the fact that it takes all these cogs to make a show go better, because without you guys we won't have pictures for the news, for promotion, for anything else. And a lot of people, I think, don't take that view seriously and don't appreciate that. And that's very much, for me, I mean, coming from journalism, it very much tells half the story, apart from the videos and the writings and everything else. So your roles have been very, very important and continue to be very important for us. And we hope that you continue to help support us and be with us in the coming days, because we've got a lot of stuff going on, hopefully from next year. Well, this year, let's just tear this year up and start learning new stuff. And but you are all, including my son as well, very important. When you come back from Georgia, hopefully you'll Jasmine, you'll be able to.
Hopefully, I don't have to
cover.
be stuck in quarantine for 2 weeks.
Well, actually, you know what? I'd take that 2 weeks, because I know at least I'm going to be home, be able to eat nasi lemak on the 15th.
Oh, isn't it now? Isn't it now like your hotel quarantine?
Not hotel,
You're gonna
centers.
pay yourself, right?
Well, it's the hotel lah. Probably some of the hotels, but you.
I
you pay
wouldn't want to
yourself, lah.
take that risk. Like,
Yeah.
food is really nice, but if you're stuck in a place for 2 weeks, I think I want to go back out.
And
Well, you know,
place-
some-
and that
some of
place,
us was-
like might have, you know.
Yeah. Some of
Yeah.
us have been stuck for a month plus. So,
At least you get nicer food, probably.
well, you know, I think people have already started to make good food and cooking good food as well. So
Yeah.
I wanted to carry on and talk about what's been happening of late, but I'm not going to go there because I think it's just useless having to waste our time and conversations on it. Anyway, but guys, thank you very much. YK, Faye, Jasmine, please continue to do what you do. On behalf of us and the audience out there, thank you very much. For those of you who'd like to know more about what they do go onto their Facebook pages, their IGs and all that. Or you can email us at info@masmmaa.org. We'll help you guys out. And if you have any questions to do with MASMMAA or MMA Malaysia, do let us know and email us or send us a message on Facebook, YouTube, or DM us on IG as well. On behalf of MASMMAA and the MMA Talk Show today, thank you very much. We'll see you guys again on the next edition of the MMA Talk Show. Bye bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Okay. Well,
But we've already had some gathering. Apparently, we can
Very bad because it's like my whole flesh and coming out.
The hell out of you, eating at my soul.